What's up, everybody? Welcome to the F Word Podcast, brought to you by Entertain Facts. I am your host, Simply G, and with me is Nick.
Hello, what's up?
And Anthony.
Hello. It's weird angle I'm on.
Yeah,
right
I know.
now.
We're running this at 1080p officially. We were at 480 before, and it did not look good.
We're upgrading
slowly. We've upgraded.
By week.
Yeah.
Let's get better.
And we're starting to get a little bit of a set that's going to work for everybody. We got our infamous Inspiration Spider-Man artwork up there.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag what?
Ad.
Ad. That's our little ad right there. That's our little shout out. And the more artwork we get, the more we can scramble together. I might throw that Kramer picture up there too, just for good measure.
Yeah.
From Teen Field.
From Teen Field, yeah. But yeah, we want to know what you guys think of how the video's going, what you got, your comments on how the podcast has been. Please email us at the fwordpodcast@gmail.com. I now have a Twitter handle, so we can start throwing stuff there. It's simply at the F words G. So we'll put that in the description below. Send me a tweet. Tell us how you think of the show.
Quick, off topic real quick.
Yeah.
Someone actually did use the email after 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was this huge ghost story. And it's pretty interesting.
They sent you the full ghost story?
Full ghost story,
Do you want to just open with that?
I don't know. It's pretty long.
Oh, okay.
So we'll leave it in the description. Maybe we'll do another episode.
Yeah.
Because it's actually a pretty beefy one.
Well, if you follow Entertain Facts on Instagram, you'll be able to see that you posted a thing about what kind of paranormal activity.
Do you believe in ghosts? And if so, has anything paranormal happened to you?
Right. Maybe what we could do is if there's a way to put the link in the description so if people want to read it, they can go to it. We'll take out the person's name so it's completely anonymous. But if it's a really good story, then that'd be sweet. As for me, I kind of do and I kind of don't. It depends on this day and the situation and what movie I watched.
Totally. And if I watch it at night or not.
Oh, man, yeah. Anthony?
Yeah, otherwise I'm not sleeping.
I don't really, it's one of those things where if it happens, it happens. Nothing has happened, which is, I think good. I don't know.
I think it's okay that I haven't been taken over by any paranormal activity.
But we have, as I said for the email, a lot of people do believe and have stories which could be fake. I have no idea. We'll get into that later in the episode. But now, kind of getting back on topic, what's been going on in the movie world, G?
Gentlemen, we got a few things. Finally official, Daniel Craig is back as Bond. I'm stoked because I've always liked it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We're all on board on this.
I still haven't seen any.
Yeah.
You haven't seen any of the Daniel Craig Bonds or just James Bond in general?
In general.
Wow.
I think you go to Casino Royale. It's behind here somewhere. I will let you borrow it. It's definitely worth taking a look because it is a killer action movie. It's
one of the better Bond ones of
ties
the newer
all
generation.
For me, I think it's the best one.
Yeah.
There's some really good ones. Man with the Golden Gun is good. Golden Eye, which was the one that Pierce Brosnan did, was awesome.
Yeah.
This one's a mix of all the different types of Bonds, but he's just way more badass. Because before, you couldn't believe that he could fight anybody. So I'm stoked for it. I think we're all stoked for it. And it's nice to see it finally confirmed. Silver and Black. The Silver Sable Black Cat movie, that comes out officially February 8th, 2019, and it's up against a Lego Movie 2. It's the one standalone outside in the Venom universe movies. Do you guys care?
Well, it's kind of weird how Sony's trying to build up their universe, and they're basing a movie that literally builds things.
That's the big question.
Yeah.
Do you know much about Black Cat or Silver Sable?
I don't know.
They're kind of like anti-heroes.
Shocking, I know,
shocking.
right? Yeah.
in the Spider-Man universe, Black Cat's kind of a muse to Spider-Man specifically, and they're kind of doing a tag team, kind of these two, badass females pretty much doing their own kind of bad boy style movie, which will segue into our next one. Mm-hmm. Have you seen a Lego Movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty
Everything
awesome.
Is awesome. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Lego Movie.
And so, with Lego Movie 2 coming out, Batman Lego Movie has crushed.
Yeah.
That first Lego Movie crushed. Do you think it's wise for Sony to put a newer property that some people know, some people don't? Let's say someone like you, if you heard Silver and Black, which one would you go see?
On a business level, I don't think it's a smart decision.
Okay.
You're talking about taking a piece of a pie and going up against another juggernaut who's going to take a huge chunk. For me, I would have waited or done it beforehand or afterward. I don't think it's a smart move to go up against something like the Lego Movie.
Right.
Because even if you say, okay, it's a kid's movie or whatever, in the end, the parents still have to take the kids. So you're not doing yourself any good.
Anthony?
It's not a smart move. He doesn't know who Black Cat or Silver Sable is. I don't know who Silver Sable is.
Yeah.
I don't care to see a Black Cat movie.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. Maybe we have another Wonder Woman. But these characters are coming out of nowhere. There's been no build up to them at all.
Right. And then no mentions or anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea too. But at the same time, when you look at the landscape of the movie world now, it's really tough to find good real estate on that map.
It's true.
Most movies now, January, toilet bowl for movies. Usually garbage movies come out there, and August hasn't been that great. But because now the summer blockbuster starts in almost April or May, sometimes in March too. It starts earlier in the year. August now has some decent movies. Remember, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 came out in August. January, February used to be a toilet bowl too. Deadpool took over that, and it's like, oh, Deadpool in February. Crushed. So it's going to be tough to get that real estate. But when we're talking about Silver Sable and Black Cat as Bad Boys 3, same company as Sony, they're releasing, or they're removed from release slate. You must be heartbroken.
I'm devastated. I am not gonna lie. I could quote any of those lines from any of the movies.
I see the Bad Boys 2 right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's right here. It's so good.
It's
Bad Boys 1 and 2. So the second one is just fun as hell. The first one I thought was like a legit, really good movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one, the Reggie.
Oh man.
Yeah. Who is you?
Who is you? That whole scene. It's a father's dream because now they have a script, and especially with a lot of people that haven't seen Bad Boys 2, they could just rip that script all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm going to use it when your daughter starts dating somebody.
Absolutely.
First date.
We've already got it figured
only
out.
saw Bad Boys 2, but I was like too young to kind of remember it. But
Sure.
I do kind of remember Will Smith saying I remember the Reggie line.
Yeah.
But
So
not,
good.
Off by heart.
Yeah.
Oh man, and it's on the one hand,
Been in
it's
prison,
hard.
Reggie. Do you want to?
on the one hand, it's kind of shitty because it would be nice to see them back together again and doing their thing. On the other hand, though, maybe it's a little too late. They were also planning to be like not just Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys 4, and
There was going to be a
on.
few of them. Yeah.
So maybe it's smart. Who knows? Where like Will Smith is going to be doing the genie in the Aladdin live action movie.
And now he's in the DCEU.
Now he's in the DCEU. Martin Lawrence, no one knows where he's at. I haven't heard from him. So
He's probably with Luke Skywalker.
honestly, he's probably with Anakin. You mean talking about sand? Because even the kid that played Anakin, you don't see him too much
That's 'cause he
around.
got like
Hayden
hated.
Christensen.
Now he's like a science teacher doing
Is
his
he?
own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it was a good idea on paper, and for us that we've seen both of them, we
Nostalgia-wise,
love them. It would have been great to see them again. But is it worth bringing that back if it doesn't have the same fire? It doesn't have the same kind of the same flair, the same kind of feeling that you had where you watch these guys and you're just like, these guys are awesome, just to watch.
You know what? I think personally, if they did release a couple of them, I think they would do well.
Yeah.
And not only the nostalgia thing, but Will Smith, Martin Lawrence are like really good on camera together. Like they do have a really good chemistry. They're funny. They've got, as long as the writing is good, I think they could go for a couple more. But yeah,
it'd be nice. I hope that's the case. I mean, you never know though. We'll see. We'll see. We got another couple things. One more thing. Before we get into our two main topics, Tom Cruise breaking his ankle doing a stunt for MI6. But apparently, I haven't followed up on this. Apparently, they're not moving the release date. They're going to keep it going.
Oh, wow.
So they're just powering through getting MI6. Oh, that's a good one.
Well done.
Hashtag cruising through it.
What is he, like a septuagenarian now? Like about 70? Is
He's
that old?
55.
55. You know what? Good on him for doing what he does. At some point, though, you can't at 55 years old be jumping across buildings over roofs and thinking you're not going to get hurt. And that's apparently what happened. He was jumping, doing a jump scene.
Yeah, it was a whole stunt, and he landed on a wall.
Yeah.
The pictures that they showed,
down.
Probably
Jericho
style.
Well done. YTJ.
That's for the next show, okay?
Yeah, but it's okay.
They showed him. He's coming off of the thing. He's got the bungees all over the place, and then somewhere along the lines there, hit a wall, broke his ankle. Mm-hmm. Anthony at 50.
Production didn't hit the wall because it kept on going.
Good God.
Because they're still filming it.
Remember, he's our boss, dude.
Oh
my God, great line.
Yeah, that was so good.
It's so good.
So yeah, Anthony at 55. Yeah, well, I mean, it's impressive.
Yeah.
He's been on the side of a plane, which he legitimately did in the last Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
He almost died in Mission Impossible 2 on the doing his climbing sequence in the opening thing. He's legit.
Yeah.
He's a legit action star, not just an actor who's been around forever, but he does his own stuff. Do you think there's kind of a point where he's got to maybe, I don't know, give up doing his own stunts?
For me, I would say to, like, you know, he's obviously getting there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he probably couldn't physically do it, but why test it? Like, he's a solid actor. He's probably one of the world's most famous actors.
100%.
Don't wreck your whole legacy to do a stunt. Like, bring in the stunt man. Don't wreck your legacy. Nobody wants to see you die on set over something. Like, yeah, we get it, dude. You're the man. You did your scenes for so many years. At 60, I'm happy if I could still lift a glass of warm milk. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Anthony?
I agree.
Thanks, boss.
Simply agree.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Do you think Tom Cruise is getting up there in age to be doing his own stunts? If you were 55, what kind of stunt would you want to do? Email us at the F Word Podcast. You could tweet
Great
that
question.
to me as hey man, I think why not add some more fun, get some interaction.
Yeah.
But we'll be getting So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's gonna be okay. It's great seeing him do his own stunts, but we'll see.
Absolutely.
And next we have some Infinity War stuff. Actually, something also broke today before we get into Infinity War. Entertainment Weekly finally released a image with Superman with the Justice League. No surprise, but there was actually a picture with the Justice League and then Superman just floating up top there. So obviously he's back.
Could just be a spirit, though.
It could be. The spirit lives within us all.
Absolutely.
Does the spirit live within you? Email us at the F Word Podcast. No, just joking. But
is there a Superman in you?
Is there a Superman in you? Please
woman.
tell us.
Or woman. Yeah.
Hey man, that's a good one.
That's
Oh,
true.
that'd be Wonder Woman. Is there a Wonder Woman?
There's a
in you?
Supergirl, though.
Yeah.
Is there a Supergirl in you?
I thought there was a Wonder Woman in me the
sounds
one
really
time,
bad.
but then I hit my foot on the table and I started bawling like crazy. So that Wonder Woman quickly left. Anyways, so that one's cool. He's back. Great. We're on track. I was surprised they gave him his original costume. I thought they would have done something cool by having him in the black outfit that we've kind of seen on the set
Maybe they
photos.
don't want to release that yet.
Hey, maybe not.
Yeah.
You never know. Next, Samuel L. Jackson has not been getting the phone call to be in any of the Avengers movies, nor Black Cat. We know he's in Black Panther. Sorry, I'm still on Black Cat, Silver Sable. But he hasn't gotten the phone call, and he's not sure why. He's not in Black Panther, nor is he in the Infinity War movies. He is, however, in the Captain Marvel movie as a young version of him in the 90s and stuff like that. Do you think it's more just they don't need him anymore?
Yeah. Well, like, in the movies, if I am correct, this happened in, like, 2014, I think, when Winter Soldier came out. He died. Well, quote unquote, because he was, like, alive in the next 15 minutes. But, like, if they're really going to go on this thing where, like, none of the Avengers really know that he's still alive and he's, like, going undercover, it wouldn't make sense for him to show up when this big purple guy comes up destroying planets. What is he going to do there? Rally up the troops? Like, okay, Coulson, you're going to hold this really big gun and you're going to die. He's just not... Right. That's stupid. I don't know what I'm saying, but he's not needed anymore.
You don't think... So you think he's done what he's needed to do?
From Rocky. He died, now he's done.
Yeah.
He died, he was able to give the heroes the push that they needed, much like Coulson did.
Mick coming back in Creed, being like, let's go, you son of a...
Right.
Do you not see him being needed in order to bring the team back together, though, after there was that kind of split between them? Like, maybe that's his role.
But they're already, like, back together.
They're not yet.
They're not yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you need me, just call me Tony.
Right, but do you think that's going to happen? I mean, it's going to be something pretty catastrophic that's going to happen, that he's going to be like, we need to get everybody back to put their differences aside. But I like that point that you make. Maybe he's still... Because a lot of people are like, well, he's ushered in all of the heroes together. Everybody's working together in Avengers. Everyone's moving on. Civil War happened. Maybe he is the one that needs to come back and bring them together. If it's not an incident with Thanos or the Black Order, it's going to be something else where he comes back. Because he did in Age of Ultron, if I remember. He was in Age of Ultron when Cap and him were having that kind of little battle outside when they were chopping wood, and then he ended up being in the tractor. Tony Stark met up with him in the barn.
No, they're chopping wood. I remember he said, "Don't steal my wood."
No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying after that, Samuel L. Jackson was
I haven't seen that movie so long, man.
Oh, come on, you got to remember. I remember it all.
It's a bad movie, though.
I wouldn't say bad. It's not the best. So the other thing is, do you think he's really necessary or should be in Black Panther?
No. Just because it's like a black... Just because the blacks in there doesn't mean Nick Fury has to show up.
I don't think it'd be a bad
Panther isn't
idea.
in the Avengers, though.
No, and it's in Wakanda. How would he get there?
Isolated, except for, Bucky.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they have to bring, Peter Parker's going to show up. Like, hey, what's up, guys? And you'll see Miles Morales swinging by because, he's African-American.
Sure. I think Nick Fury's role is diminished, and I think people know that. Like, I think his original role was there. He played it well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know, for them to bring him back, it might be in a limited capacity, but right now all the other characters have kind of superseded. Like, he's not like, to be a director or something like that.
He doesn't need to bring them back again.
Yeah, exactly. They're self-sufficient. They manage themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't know. I think I am on the same page as you. However, I wouldn't mind seeing him back just for a little bit because Tony and Cap are at odds with each other. Or, they were.
But when aren't they?
When aren't they? They've always have since the beginning. That's a good point, right? So it took Coulson dying and a little kind of wordplay and a silver tongue from Samuel L. Jackson's character, Nick Fury, to bring him back for the first Avengers when he said they needed the push, right? And maybe he needs to come back and do the push. But he's not overly happy because he's like, I don't know, Black Panther, I'm a black guy, kind of type of deal. I'm paraphrasing here, of course. But, it would almost make sense for that kind of thing. I just like seeing him because his character, anything Samuel L. Jackson's in, I love.
He's
the best.
stellar.
He's so good.
For sure.
The other one we're going to talk about is Luc Besson. For those of you who don't know who Luc Besson is, he most notably has done The Fifth Element. He's done a whole whack of other movies. I mean, I'll pull up his IMDb really quick here. But I'll pull up the quote that he said. So Luc Besson is the title here that I'm getting from the Daily News. It's saying Luc Besson labels Captain America US as propaganda. The quote is as follows. When he was asked, as far as to call Captain America propaganda, he says, I'm totally tired of it. Totally. I mean, it was great 10 years ago when we saw the first Spider-Man, Iron Man. Now it's like number 5, 6, 7. Then he goes to say the superhero is working with another superhero, but it's not the same family. I'm lost. And I think it seems more like a blending, like he's blending everything. Like, oh, these Fox and you got Marvel and Sony and so on and so forth. Next quote. What bothers me is the most is that there's always here to show the supremacy of America and how they are great. Which country in the world would have the guts to call a film Captain Brazil or Captain France? I mean, no one. We would be so ashamed and say, no, come on, we can't do that. They can. They can call it Captain America and everybody thinks it's normal. Do you guys follow that line of thinking?
No. That's sour grapes is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean...
I feel like he tried pitching a superhero movie when it got turned down, and that's why.
Yeah.
Well, to go a little bit further, he's talking about, and Valerian is another proposal. This is a quote, right? Different, where you really travel, you meet aliens a lot, and there are real themes. I know we've discussed about themes before. He says, Valerian and Laureline are not superheroes. They're not even heroes. They're people like you and me. They're cops. They do their job, but sometimes they can be heroic. That's what I love because I can relate to that. I can't relate to a superhero. I don't have superpowers. Before we go further...
No, they're just Batman or Iron Man, to put that on the table.
Well, and Valerian and the City of Thousand Planets, I haven't seen it. It's 50% or so on Rotten Tomatoes. It cost up to $210 million to make, and worldwide now, as of yesterday night, it was at $114,803,346.
And 46 cents.
And 46 cents. And so it seems like, I think you said it best, it seems more like sour grapes.
It does. And here's the thing. There was a Captain America done back in when was it? The 40s.
Oh, yeah.
Well, originally it was in the 40s or something, right? And which country was the leader of the world at the time? And still technically is. It was the United States. They were the ones who had the money and the disposable income to spend on comic books. So if you're somebody like a Stan Lee, of course you're going to put Captain America. You're not going to call it Captain Brazil Belgium. Or Captain Belgium because, nobody knows them as well, right?
Right.
And I'm sorry, you're in the American market, and that's the largest economic market in the world. So, yeah, it made sense that there's going to be a Captain America. If there was a Captain Brazil in Brazil, I'm sure it would kick butt. It would do great. But on a global market, no, it wouldn't. And that's just the way the global market is. And it's like, for him to say something like that is just... he comes across as completely uneducated. And it comes across as completely bitter. I made this movie that's more relatable to you, but you guys watch this guy because he's got superpowers. And yeah, they all do. I get it. But there's something to be said about stepping out of the reality and going into a little bit of fantasy world too.
Yeah. But when he was talking about themes, Anthony, I know Nick and I have talked about this at length on the podcast and after. The themes have changed quite substantially throughout our superhero movies. They're not like they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago or so. We are looking at political themes, Captain America Winter Soldier, more idealistic or ideological themes in Civil War, and they're starting to implement more of that. Do you think he's wrong on the themes thing as well, where they don't explore the themes that we live in today?
Well, I feel like they are comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
They are comic books.
They're fun.
And, like, exactly, they're fun. They're not meant to be taken seriously. Like, I don't pick up a Walking Dead comic books and, like, hopefully tomorrow the apocalypse starts and I can just be like, oh, this is so relatable.
Right.
Like, you play video games not because they're realistic.
Yeah.
Most people do. I don't. You play it to escape reality, to F reality, our new show.
F reality.
You do it to, like, have your own little world, a little, like, it's different.
A little break from the world.
It's different, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to watch a movie about, like, what's something that's going on? Like the Nazi, like the Charlottesville thing where people were kind of, I don't want to see a movie about that.
Well, and it's going to be a while until they do something like that. It's going to be very similar, like I
think, like, next month, like, a 9/11 film is coming out, which is, fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to be disrespectful. But, like, they're not just, like, if it happened and, like, the year after they released a 9/11 movie, I'm sure people would have been furious with it.
Heads would have rolled.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's kind of that too soon type of deal. Well, mind you, if you guys haven't had a chance to see Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11,
I've seen that one.
That one's
great,
incredible.
Great
incredible
documentary. Yeah.
There could be something to be said about a statute of limitations on certain things, like everything going on in Charlottesville, and it eventually will, because there was a movie that Mark Wahlberg was in talking about the Boston Marathon. Right.
Mm-hmm. That one in January, and that one kind of flopped.
It didn't do very well. It was a good movie. It just didn't do as well.
Yeah.
And then there was Deepwater Horizon that he was in as well with the same director, and I'm blanking on the guy's name, but I think he's wrong on the themes. I understand maybe it is a case of, people don't understand my movies. I love The Fifth Element. I think The Fifth Element is one of the best movies of all time. If you haven't had a chance, it's aged not bad. It is kind of cheesy. They have a lot of practical effects, but it is a great, great movie. I haven't seen Valerian. Nothing about it really draws me in. So, it seems a little bit of sour grapes. On the one hand, I kind of get it, because when you are an artist that doesn't have your art recognized, and he poured his heart into Valerian for years, and to see it not get recognized as these comic book movies are, I imagine a lot of other directors are almost on that same page, where it's like, well, we're doing all this great independent work, but everyone's focused on Captain America, Iron Man, Batman, and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting how everything changes. And now let's move on to TV. Before we get into some of our Game of Thrones stuff, we just watched the Defenders trailer. Yes. What do we think?
Well, to be honest, the only Netflix shows I have seen for the MCU are Daredevil, Season 1 and 2, which took me a while because I found it extremely boring.
You found both seasons very boring?
Yes.
You're an action guy, aren't you? You don't like those quiet moments, do you?
I love Jessica Jones. Like, I watch that straight. But everybody hates it for some reason. I
adore it. I think it's great.
I love Gotham, and I feel like the exact kind of same show is different universe.
Very similar.
But I gave Luke Cage a go. Didn't like it.
Really?
I watched, like, the first half of Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And hated it. It was so bad.
I didn't care about Iron Fist. Nick, where are you on the Netflix Marvel movie train?
Here's the thing. When I saw the trailer, the first thing I thought of, I was comparing Transformers to GoBots. It's
okay.
Like, like, these guys are like the GoBots of, like, superhero. Like, if you compare them to Avengers,
right.
Or, like, those guys, the Justice League.
Those these upper echelon gods, so to speak.
Right. They're your Transformers. These are like the GoBots of, like, Marvel teams. Like, they're just such a B team. I'm not saying that it's a bad show. I think, like, I'm sure it's a good show. Whatever.
Have you seen any of them though?
No.
Okay.
And I mean,
so
like,
none of it interests you.
This is just me going off of the trailer, and you and it's an unfair comparison, I'm sure, because you look at, Avengers was a blockbuster movie.
This is a TV show.
This is a TV show. But at the same token, you're like, okay, come on. Like, it's over the top. Like, I'm over it. Like, I'm sure.
Over what? The superhero thing?
I'm over the superhero thing to an extent right now. Like, I like the Avengers. I like the Justice League.
But the genre is like...
It's oversaturated.
Yeah, it's running its course.
Well, of course it is. Why? Because it's just like the Westerns.
That's going to eventually... And I hate to say it, eventually the superhero genre will die down. And that's why they're all cramming the movies.
It'll die. Well, one thing to that is that because of the way that Marvel has been able to situate themselves in the marketplace, it's more saturated because everybody else is trying to do their catch-up, because it's no longer sequels. It's let's find a universe. Kong Skull Island was supposed to be part of this monster universe. Godzilla, so on and so forth. The Mummy was supposed to be part of the monster universe. I would say I don't want to say you're wrong because you have the rights to your opinions. The only thing I'd say is that they're different. And the reason that they're different is that they are lower level. They're the street level heroes. Spider-Man in the comics has kind of come in and out and everything like that. But I would say that you've seen 2 or 3 seasons of this stuff. You haven't seen any. I've seen all of them. And Iron Fist is by far the weakest one. It took itself way too seriously. And in regards to this Daredevil or the Defenders trailer, I was actually excited that he's got a little bit more humor, so he's actually going to chill out a bit and not be so intense. Oh, I'm the Iron Fist. I got to do this, blah blah blah. They're character pieces. They're more so character pieces because they touch on. If you look at Jessica Jones, when you watch that, there are underlining tones of rape in there, which is super intense, and it delves right into it. Having a villain who can tell people whatever he wants to do, stop breathing, and they'll stop breathing just because he has to. And this girl, Jessica Jones, who was under his spell for a long time and now is broken out and trying to help people. Daredevil is that whole what it is to be a hero, what it is to do right, and are you going to fall into your own pit that you've created. Luke Cage is this very cool kind of. It feels like a 70s style Afrocentric movie. Like even on a movie standpoint, it's almost like a Shaft.
Oh, okay.
It's got a Shaft feel to it,
yeah.
And it deals with a lot of personal kind of feelings to it. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely worth a look, even if you just want to specifically Daredevil season 1 and Luke Cage. Those 2 you'll like a lot until halfway. Until there's 2 episodes in what's it called in Luke Cage, but
and I want to preface it by saying I haven't seen them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If people are out there are upset, by all means, send your emails to G.
Don't be upset
or
at
you
me.
can just watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I'll watch that too.
Sure, yeah, but
that was just my initial reaction, just because that's kind of I've seen Avengers and I'm like, okay, what are they trying to do? But I'll give it a chance for sure when I find some free time.
In terms of the Defenders, I thought it was a fun trailer. Again, they're kind of coming together. I just, as long as it doesn't take itself too seriously, because I know the other one's very dark, very steeped in kind of everything's bad, everything's crazy. What was her name? The villain. I'm blanking. Sigourney Weaver looks amazing as the villain. Elektra's back. That one scene at the end when Iron Fist, it looks like Iron Fist going back to him because he was the weakest part of all of them in terms of the series. Actually being able to use his freaking Iron Fist as opposed to before he used it 3-4 times.
Yeah.
In an entirety of a season. It's
and the show
what
is
the
called
heck? Iron Fist. I hope he gets his uniform.
But speaking of how Nick kind of said, not he's tired of it, of the superheroes, but I feel like I watch Arrow, I watch Legends of Tomorrow, I watch The Flash, I watch Gotham.
Yeah.
I watch all these comic book shows like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones.
Sure.
I feel like at this point, the reason I didn't like those 2 shows was because I was just tired of watching superheroes.
And a lot of times, it's when it hits you.
You're comicked out.
You could be comicked out. I mean, I don't run out to see every single comic book movie that.
Yeah, you do.
Not like I used to.
You sure?
Hey man, Spider-Man. I haven't seen Guardians 2.
You're not missing much.
That's true. Yeah.
That's from Anthony.
I've gotten a lot of hate from that opinion, but I stick by it.
You could stick whatever you want. I've seen Spider-Man, I've seen John Wick 2, and I've seen Logan. Those are kind of my 3. And John Wick 2 isn't even a comic book movie. It is badass though. So yeah, Defenders looks good. I hope it's shorter season. The big case with them has always been, hey, they've stuck around too long, and a couple episodes have kind of been lame and not very good. They didn't help anything, and it's just prolonged something that didn't necessarily need to happen. So, have you guys seen Hannibal?
The show?
I haven't.
The show.
I wanted to watch it, but then it got canceled, so I kind of lost interest in it. But I do want to watch it.
Highly recommended. That is
how many seasons?
Incredible.
Is it 1 or 2?
There's 3.
Oh, I was off.
Because again, it got brought back. They have that 3rd season, then it ended. But now there's talks that it might come back. If you haven't seen Hannibal, I would highly recommend it. In a phrase, it is hauntingly beautiful.
Wow.
It is a gorgeous show to watch in terms of TV, the cinematography.
This is about a cannibal.
It's about a cannibal, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cooking
Hannibal
scenes.
the cannibal.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, when you don't have to wink at me, that's a thing that's been going on forever. Oh. But
I thought you would eat it up.
Wow. He's their boss.
Yeah, he is.
Great line, boss.
Good job, man. Good job, man. No,
Good job.
I like Silence of the Lambs. I like Red Dragon and stuff like that. Anthony Hopkins is great, but Mads Mikkelsen, holy crap, he is out of this world. He's so good in this. The cooking scenes too that they show in this, because he cooks with body parts.
Right.
They show him at one point, and this isn't a major spoil, it just happens, you can find it on YouTube, taking a leg and breaking it down into what is called an osobuco. It's a stew. And it looks amazing. Like the way he preps everything, the food that they do, it's just got this dark, ominous feel to it. And these are people. So, me personally, I hope it comes back. If you guys haven't checked a look at it, watch it.
Okay.
It's legit. It is legit. And what do we have? Ozark. Have you guys seen Ozark on Netflix? Ozark.
Nope.
Oh, wow. You guys are really behind. I'm only the only one doing my homework. It's on Netflix again. It's about a guy. It's a money laundering show where a guy's in deep with the mob.
I'm just going to quit my job and watch TV. Yeah. I think I need to catch up.
Hey, man, just do what I do. Don't sleep until 2 or 3 in the morning. You'll be able to catch whatever you need.
Done.
Yeah. But Ozark, not a bad show. Jason Bateman stars in it.
Okay.
And he also directs a lot of this as well. It's about him pretty much laundering money or working with finances with a drug kingpin. And then things go awry in the first opening.
As they always do.
As they always do. And then he ends up going to this place called Ozark, I believe in Mississippi or Minnesota, either one of the M's. And he has to try to figure out a way to launder this guy's money and get his money back while being in, like, butt F nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. There's a couple of slower parts in it, but it's pretty interesting because then they get caught up and there's always these other gangs and stuff in this Ozark thing, and it gets deeper and deeper and he can't get himself out. So, yeah, it's a pretty good show.
Cool.
Not the worst thing in the world. And last but not least, very quickly, we're going to touch on some Game of Thrones. John touched a dragon. What did you think about it, Anthony?
I was very nervous during that scene.
Did you think it was going to bite his arm off?
No.
Okay.
But it was, oh my god. And then, like, Daenerys was kind of just, like, peeking over, like,
oh,
is
yeah.
he going to do it? He did it.
She's got the biggest lady boner for him. And we know that Jon Snow can react with these dragons because he's also a Targaryen and stuff. Like, you know, it's pretty much confirmed.
I know I explained it to you, but you probably forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy
there was a lot of info that day.
This guy's a bastard. No one knows where he comes from except for his little brother who hasn't told him anything. All it takes is a raven, Bran. And then, so he doesn't know that he's actually related to this chick that's come over on the other side, the one with the dragons, right? Okay. So he's actually a dragon by blood. And he finally touches one of her dragons instinctively, and the dragon's all like, hey man, we're friends.
Hey,
super great. But aside from all of that, the Magnificent Seven, call him the new Suicide Squad. It's Jon Snow, Tormund, Gendry, a guy we haven't seen since season 3.
The new Thor.
The new Thor with a hammer. This dude's got a hammer, and it's awesome. And these guys are going into... Yeah, there it is. They're going into the winter to go on a suicide mission to grab a dead so they can prove, hey, we're not BSing. These things exist.
When winter wasn't coming, they came for winter.
Or winter came for them.
No, because they're coming for winter.
I guess so, but they're going into the winter.
You guys have to laugh and smile at my jokes. That's it.
This is how the boss thing goes.
Apparently.
Nick, I'm going to say you, me, and 5 of our friends are going to walk into impending doom against an army of thousands.
I'm not included in this list?
Well, I'm just talking to Nick because Nick has no idea about Game of Thrones. You know what you're up against. What do you think our odds are of getting out of this thing alive?
100%.
100%. If you're a
D&D...
main
characters are going in there?
Yeah, so many. And the thing is, I'm thinking about it from a World of Warcraft standpoint. You can't go into a battle with that many tanks. They don't have healers. They don't have spellcasters. They don't have anything.
Is there a Leroy Jenkins?
Well, Jon Snow for sure is, but he was Leroy Jenkins in the Battle of the Bastards. He Leroy Jenkins the hell out of that. He got mad and he just ran, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, let's go get him!" Right? Luckily, it all worked out. But yeah, there's some stuff going down, man. This next episode is going to be pretty crazy.
It's already been leaked.
It's already been leaked. Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Gentlemen, I think that's all I have for right now.
But we have the ghost story. Okay, so we're running out of time here, so I'm going to do a quick ghost story one. There's been some funny ones. There's been a lot of people telling stories. I don't know a lot of them being true, but one of my favorite ones was one of the first ones I did see. I got to scroll up here. Okay, so this comes from Camtex209, and I'm going to say exactly what he says. I'm not, doing whatever, but he says... So my dad's Hispanic and was poor when he was little, so they had to bury his uncle, but until they could find a place, they kept him in the attic, and I live in that same house. So every night, I swear on God, you can hear footsteps in the attic, tapping on windows, stuff fall in my room. It's scary. I went to the bathroom a couple days ago, and the light completely shut off, and I heard the shower curtain move.
Wow.
That's not bad.
But then there was a guy right underneath him called Comic Bandit, and says don't believe in them, but they are sometimes fun to hear, which is exactly kind of my logic with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like something we talked about in the beginning.
But there
It's
are I don't know how many comments. There are a lot more like in detail. We didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
There's 170 comments. So if you guys like ghost stories,
Check them out.
go nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, go on the Entertain Facts page on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our show. This is episode 8. We're almost at episode 10. Do we do something special for episode 10? I don't know. We'll decide. We'll figure that one out.
You'll be paying for whatever we do that's special.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we can have pizza. I don't know about the ghost peppers, man. Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in to the F Word Podcast. I am Simply G. Nick and Anthony, thank you so much for joining once again. You can find us you can find me on Twitter at the F Words G. That's words, WORDS.
Link in the description.
Link will be in the description. Email us at the F-word-podcast at gmail.com. And also make sure you check out Entertain Facts on Instagram. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Very, very, very much. And smooth.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out our other shows too. The WWF Word with Nick and Anthony, where they go ham on everything wrestling. And also our Let's Plays on F Reality.
Yes. Tonight we're going to be shooting a GTA video with a friend of mine, so look forward to that.
Tune in. Thanks again for watching. We are out.